Evening everyone, Kevin McDonnell here. Welcome to No Money Down TV. So tonight I'm going to be talking and sharing with Muzzie Nduna. So Muzzie is on my No Money Down mastermind. He's been absolutely smashing it recently in property and over the last few months. I'm going to be interviewing him all about what he's up to, what he's doing, what's working for him, what hasn't worked for him, mindset, etc. Any questions you have, anything you want to know, drop them in the comments box. So let's find out, let's deep dive into Muzzie's, what he's up to at the moment. Now this has all come as well about from Conrad Guida. I want to give a big shout out to Conrad, who's another member of our mastermind. We've set him a challenge, a double your income challenge. So hashtag double your income challenge, hashtag no money down, hashtag double your income again, because Conrad's going to double it again. And a number of the mastermind and anyone in this community that wants to join can be part of the double your income challenge. So anyone who wants to be part of the double your income challenge can. Muzzie, if you're watching, can you request to join? So Muzzie, if you're online, because there's loads of people watching already, if you can request to join, that would be amazing. Let me just get rid of this, 1 second. So if you send me a request to join, Muzzie, that would be cool, because I can't find you. But double your income challenge, double your income again challenge, no money down. Muzzie, if you're with me, can you give me a join request? So a join request, because I can't find you. That would be amazing. Don't seem to be watching yet. Hopefully you are. So for those of you that don't know Muzzie, he attended a multiple streams of income event a while back, last year, 2019, I believe. Came on the No Money Down journey with me, and he's been doing some really great things in the Coventry area. Any questions you have around No Money Down, around rent to rent, assisted sales, exchange lead completions, lease options, whatever it may be, get them in your comments box. I'll talk to Muzzie about what he's up to at the moment, and we get to share the journey. Muzzie's in, so join request, where are we? And guys, get involved in the No Money Down, get involved in the double your income challenge. So Conrad's going to be online, Conrad Guida, every week interviewing somebody. I'm going to be coming on every Monday. So every single Monday from 7:30 in the evening, I am going to be doing a No Money Down Monday or a McDonnell Monday. So every single Monday, just giving content and helping you with your questions, anything you need to know about property. So get in your diary, every single Monday from 7:30, I'm going to be online doing that. So join the join the double your income challenge, join the double your income again challenge. What does double your income again mean? Well, Conrad joined the double your income challenge and he doubled it within a couple of weeks. So we've told him he has to double it again because he did it too quick. So that's the double your income again challenge. Now, if you're on £1 and you're trying to double your income again, or quit your job race. So hashtag, my hashtag's at the top. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to join the challenge, hashtag double your income, hashtag double your income again, or hashtag quit your job race. Okay, get that in the comments box and let me know that you want to be a part of this journey. Muzzie's with us. So good evening, Muzzie. How are things?
Fantastic. Absolutely
good.
Brilliant. How are you, Kevin?
Awesome. So glad you could join us. I've been obviously working closely with you the last few months for quite a while now. And what I want to do is get you on. I'm going to be interviewing a different person every week that's been doing these strategies and show you what they are doing, what you should be doing, what you can do in a really short period of time as well. So Muzzie, when did you first meet me? When did you first come to Progressive?
It was actually on the 30th of June last year when I came for multiple streams.
Oh, so almost 12 months ago.
Almost 12 months ago it was, yeah.
And
yeah.
What property experience had you at the time? How many properties had you? What experience had you at the time?
Oh, 0 properties before that. I had been to a couple of networking events, training programs, reading a couple of things, but not much experience until I actually started properly at that point, to be fair.
Okay, so you've read a few books. Had you bought your own home?
Yeah, I was living my own home. Yeah,
okay, so you'd bought your own home. Cool. Had you bought any other investment properties?
Nah.
Had you done any sort of rent to rent, anything like that?
No, I didn't have anything before then.
Okay. Did you even know what rent to rent was?
In theory, I had heard about it, so I wanted to learn a bit more.
Right.
I didn't really know much about it.
Did you know what a lease option was?
Oh, no.
No. Okay. So you came on. You met me 30th of June last year. What did you decide to do? So obviously you heard me speak at a multiple streams of property income event at Progressive. What did you decide to do then?
So at that point, I decided to take on the 3-day course that was after that.
So that's my nominee down and rent to rent training.
Masterclass, yeah.
Okay, and then
but
when you did that, what month was it that you did that?
That was in July.
In July, and then you joined my mastermind program for ongoing support.
Yeah.
When did you join
the mastermind? I joined the mastermind. I signed up in July, but until September.
Yeah, I made you wait.
Yeah, there was a waiting list, but I didn't actually join the first one until mid-September.
Okay, so what have you been doing in property since? So what deals have you done? How at the start? So what did you do in sort of in 2019? So what did you do up to Christmas deals wise? Did you do any deals before Christmas?
Yes, we did. Yeah, we did a 7-day no money down challenge, which was in September. Where we were pushed to do quite a lot of activities to go towards actually securing some deals. And from that, I managed to secure 2 deals.
Okay, what were they?
Which were rent to rent for serviced accommodation, both of them.
Okay, cool. And so you got those deals up and running in September. Did you do anything else before Christmas?
Before Christmas, we secured another rent to HMO in my local area. So, and we managed to...
3 before Christmas?
Yeah, that was 3 before Christmas, yeah.
Okay, you still in your job? Still working?
I am indeed.
Okay, what would you say to people? Because I always say, don't quit your job. Don't jump out of your airplane and try and build your parachute as you fall. And what would you say to people who are listening and thinking, can I do this with a full-time job? Have I got time to do this with a full-time job? And what would you say to them?
So before I actually started going at it, I thought it was going to be next to impossible to do it whilst I'm doing my job. The amount of work that's required, it is difficult, but it's a simple process. It is doable even with your job at the same time.
Okay.
I managed to get that done. It's that we did the 7-day challenge. That's when I realized that it's just a case of utilizing your time a little bit better. Now I can appreciate some people work some crazy hours, but then with what I did, I probably used 2 or 3 hours of my day each of the days to push on this challenge, and within a week we managed to secure 2 deals.
Cool. Now a question's just come in from Jane's saying, first of all, missed your program yesterday. That's mine because I did an online training. Hope it went well. My hay fever was too much, so look forward to all the extras that Andrew Gardner mentioned. I have no idea what Andrew Gardner mentioned to you or what the extras are, so it'd be cool if you let me know. I have no bloody idea. But Marcia is saying, what's your local area, please? So before you answer the question, Muzzie, Marcia's asking, what's your local area? Now, I know why Marcia's asked that question. I feel I know, because a lot of people in the community think, wow, Muzzie's done these 3 deals. By the way, that was just before the end of 2019. No experience whatsoever, started in September, right? And then, July to September, then the 3 deals done by Christmas. Andrew's even saying what extras. Exactly. So, so Marcia's saying what area, because a lot of people think this is great for Muzzie. It must only work in his area. I need to go to Muzzie's area. The most important thing I need to learn tonight is what area Muzzie's in. Marcia, what you need to learn tonight is you need to realize that this works in every area. Muzzie, on the mastermind, is there people from all over the country doing creative deals?
Absolutely anywhere and everywhere.
Everywhere and anywhere, everywhere. Marcia, there's only one place that this doesn't work, right? And that's in your head. Stop worrying about where Muzzie's doing it and learn how to do it where you are. His area is completely irrelevant. His area is absolutely irrelevant. The thing that matters is knowing what he's doing and replicating it in your area. So 3 deals before Christmas, after Christmas, what have you done since? So what have you done up till now?
So up until now, after the mastermind, I associated myself with some really crazy hardworking people to try to keep up to what they're doing.
Where did you meet them?
At the mastermind. So I know Conrad is watching, and he's definitely one of them. So So got myself associated with these guys. We started really pushing ourselves. The No Money Down Mastermind Challenge, the 7-day one, was like a tip of the iceberg. It was a case of, okay, this has just shown us what we're capable of. Now we'll take it from there and start pushing forward. And since then, we've taken on quite a few more rent-to-rent deals. I think in February we took on a service accommodation in my area together with Conrad, and March everything kind of changed. So at that point things kind of kicked off. But surprisingly enough, when we expected to slow down, we found we found different ways to advertise ourselves, and the demand actually increased more than
So
what it was before.
it sounds very easy. Okay, so just share with people. Um, was it always easy, or did you face challenges?
Loads of challenges.
Okay,
Loads
what
and loads of challenges.
did you always believe it was possible, or did your brain tell you a few times that you know this isn't possible or this isn't working? Did you want to quit, etc.? What? Because this is
That
really
was the
important.
that to be honest with you was the most difficult part, convincing myself that it's possible, especially for me. I had seen quite a few people do it, and I believed that it was possible, but not necessarily for me. Convincing myself that I could do it was the most difficult part. And up until I got that first deal, I thought, okay, so this is actually doable, even for myself. So that was the changer for me. Then it just started accelerating from then on.
Okay, I'm liking Jane Cookney. Is that right? Hey, I'm Irish. I can't. English is my second language. Double your income, McDonnell Mondays, midweek McDonnell. I've not heard that before. That'll do. We're going to call it midweek McDonnell from now on, thanks to Jane. So every midweek McDonnell. We'll do this every single Wednesday evening. Midweek McDonnell. Muzzie, you said that you found new ways to find tenants and stuff and fill your rooms in March. Do you want to actually be honest with everyone in the community and tell them what you did in March, who you rang and what you did on the phone?
Um, we panicked. Yeah, we panicked. We weren't getting tenants, and the conventional way of advertising your property is just putting it online, open rent, and we weren't getting anything. So we panicked and we decided to ring you, and we begged for assistance, and you just highlighted the simplest things ever.
You're leaving a lot out here, Muzzie. So what really happened, everyone, is he rang me up going, oh my God, I'm in the shit. Oh my God, what do we do? Oh my God, we've tried everything. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, what do we do? Oh, the world's shit. The world's ending. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. He was crying. He was crying like my 3-year-old son. He was crying on the phone like my 3-year-old son. He was chucking his toys everywhere. There was toys flying all over the place. They were going everywhere. You shouldn't be laughing, Conrad. You were chucking your toys everywhere as well. Anyway, so carry on. I just wanted to share that.
We highlighted in a civil manner how difficult things were, and then you highlighted some really simple things that at the end of the conversation we just both thought, well, why didn't we think of that? So we started doing the simple things like highlighting or advertising our property in local markets, making sure that each of our properties has a sign on it to show that we are looking for properties or we're looking for tenants. And that just turned everything around, and we started getting direct calls. And before long, we actually managed to fully occupy our HMOs.
Okay, so and I've said right from the start of lockdown, protect the downside, protect what you've currently got, and then scale. So
yeah.
Have you sat back? So you were panicking in March. You were trying to get everything you had already secured full, make sure that you're protecting the business. Have you now sat back, sat on your hands and went, okay, let's stop. Phew, that was lucky. Let's stop. Let's move on. Let's wait a few years, move on. Or what have you done since March?
Oh no. Once we managed to get that downside protected, that was it. It was an opportunity to leap onto the next level. So that was for the HMOs. We managed to get that fully occupied, and then we started looking at what we can do to advertise the serviced accommodations. So we did crazy things like driving around local hotels, writing down names of all the contractors that are parked outside, and we were cold calling hotels that were starting to shut down at the start of the lockdown and letting them know that we've got properties. And then soon there was a shift where initially we were chasing for guests, and then guests started chasing us. And then at that point, we thought, okay, we were initially just trying to protect our downside, but now we've got really high demand. It only makes sense to actually start taking on more units. So at a point where quite a lot of people were letting go of their units, we were taking them on. So we've actually taken on more units.
How important was mindset in that?
Absolutely detrimental.
Detrimental or fundamental?
Yeah.
Detrimental initially, and then fundamental afterwards, I guess is what you mean.
English is my second language, Kevin.
You got two people online that can't speak English. So your mindset at the start of lockdown was detrimental.
Yeah.
But the mindset shift. How did you go from the detrimental mindset to the fundamental mindset? How did it shift?
For me, it was continuous contact with people that have a bit of a positive mindset. Now, that was a difficult thing, finding people that are staying positive in a time where everything is screaming, it's not going to work, it's difficult times, put everything down and forget business. So finding those people and pushing each other forward to face a challenge and think, okay, how do I get around it? How do we work through it? And that was really, really important. And it worked out for us. We started finding different things and talking to people like yourself to come up with different ideas of how to sort of like persevere through when the standard things that we knew didn't quite work anymore.
It's very easy, you know, it's very easy to listen to the news. Bad news sells, guys. Bad news sells. And you're watching the newspaper, you're reading the Sky News, you're looking every hour. By the way, they didn't have that much bad news. They were repeating the same bad news every single hour on TV. And it's very easy to get dragged into that and go, the world's ending, better not do anything, batten down the hatches, stay in, everything. But actually, you've got to step away from that and go, okay, I'm a business owner. This is a business. What can I do today to protect the downside, protect my current business, and scale the business? So you're doing it. You've done obviously some deals with Conrad, your JV partner. Where did you meet Conrad?
I met Conrad on the mastermind.
Right, so on No Money Down.
On the No Money Down mastermind.
Did you choose? Conrad's watching, so just be careful what you say. I'm kidding. Did you choose the first person you met at mastermind, or why did you choose to work with Conrad?
Oh no, I got to meet quite a lot of people on the mastermind. Some really great people on that mastermind, actually. Me and Conrad clicked more to do with his location, where he lived. We got to speak a little bit more. We met again at a PPN in our local area, and I got to know him a little bit more, got to know his family, and it just worked for us.
Did you become a business partner with him in the first 5 minutes? Did you jump into bed with him?
Oh, no, not straight away.
Not straight away. So but the business partnership is we'll come on to how that's helped you and helped both of you, but obviously you've chosen for the right area. So what sort of characteristics were you looking for in him? What were the things that you liked about trying to work with him?
To be honest with you, initially I wasn't looking for a JV partner. It just sort of happened, but what I saw in him is the fact that he also was determined to push himself forward from where he was. He absolutely had this fire about him, and I thought, I've got that too, and I need to be sticking to people like him who will not allow me to say I'm not feeling like it today. I can't call Conrad now and say I haven't managed to do that because I just didn't feel like it. He will eat me alive. But you kind of need people like that.
So a lot of people I see, they go look for a JV partner that's somebody that was a lifelong friend, or a JV partner that they go after them just because they've got a lot of money. So they're looking for somebody with money. You clearly, right, you didn't pick Conrad because he's got a lot of money. He will, by the way, have a lot of money. So both of you were at the start of your journey. Both of you were starting out with, jobs, very little money, no savings, etc. So two people in the same sort of position chose to work together. Why did you not look for somebody just with a lot of money? Why did you choose somebody? What was the most important thing to you in your JV?
For me, it's the clicking. It's something where you feel if something were to go wrong, I can still work with this person and we can work things out. It wouldn't have mattered if Conrad had loads of money or he had nothing whatsoever. It's just a connection that you have because you want to be able to celebrate well with the person if things are going well. And when things are going well, anyone can be a JV partner. But if things are not going so well, you want someone who you can look in the eye and say, this is what went wrong, how are we going to fix it?
So what would you say to somebody who's in the community watching in who are thinking, I've got no money, I've got the drive, I've got no money, but I want somebody to work with, but I don't have the money, and because I don't have the money, I can't do anything. What would you say to them?
I've learned now in the short journey that I've had now that as much as I thought initially that money is what I needed to move forward, it really isn't. And money is just there. And if you actually portray yourself in your strengths, your personality, it will chase you. It will come to you. And it's not a case of don't look for someone who has money as your main point, because you're gonna struggle to find the right people. And also don't chase the dollar.
What have I always said right from the first time I met you? Don't chase the money will find you.
Will find you, absolutely.
Yeah. You've not just done rent to rent now, have you?
Oh no,
Yeah. Because hold on for a second.
Ventures.
Because I teach rent to rent for Progressive, and I also teach the no money down strategy. So lease options, assisted sales, exchange delayed completions, raising money, joint venture finance, joint ventures. So how to find a good JV partner, how to do JVs, how to structure JVs, and how to raise money. But so loads of different strategies, tenant buyers. And what happens sometimes is people come on my training and they go through all of their strategies and then they go rent to rent. And they forget about the lease options and all the other stuff. So did you do any of the other strategies in your first 6 months?
Oh, no.
No, apart from JV, which it was after 6 months when you got the JV with Conrad. So what have you done since lockdown? What have you been looking at since lockdown?
I've got some exciting stuff that I've gotten myself involved in, because for me, the strategy was get started in the rent to rent and create the cash flow to eventually start purchasing my properties later on. That was always the plan. And then the more I started speaking to people like yourself and seeing how things can work, I shortened that trip. So we're currently in the process of purchasing our very first BTL.
So just BTL, is that a sandwich?
Our first buy-to-let.
Oh, right. I thought BLT is a sandwich. Sorry. So your very first buy-to-let. So you're now buying property.
Now buying property. Yeah.
Did you have money to buy a house last June with a deposit?
Absolutely not.
When did you put the offer in on this buy-to-let?
So I put the offer in last week, actually.
Okay, and when you put the offer in last week, did you have the deposit money to buy the buy-to-let?
No.
How much of your own money are you putting into the buy-to-let?
A big fat zero.
So you're doing a no money down buy-to-let?
Absolutely.
But no money down's not possible, right? I mean, you need money.
Right? I know. None of my money whatsoever. I don't even know where the confidence comes from, but I confidently made an offer which was below market value. And at that time, I knew for a fact I didn't have money in my account. But I have learned now that the money doesn't have to be in my account. The money just has to be there somewhere.
And I always say the money's in the room. There's people joint venturing, lending money. There's people have got pension pots just within our Nominee Down community, just within the mastermind room. Did you have to go far for the money, or was the money in the room?
Oh, not at all, actually. The money was really close by.
Okay.
Really close by within the room, yeah.
Next question. So that's your buy-to-let in the bag, no money down. For everyone who says it's impossible, nobody would lend you money, etc., 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 you've done a no money down deal. No money down, for anyone who's listening, right, is none of your own money, okay? Money is always needed. Money's always needed. You'll hear the naysayer going, no money down, you can't do no money down, right? Anyone who's ever bought 50, 60, 70 houses, they did not do it with money that they earned in a job, exchanging time for money, saving up a deposit. And if you're listening to this right now and your plan to build your portfolio is exchange time for money in a job, you're going to run out of life before you ever leave that job, or before you ever build enough portfolio. Hopefully you'll get some retirement, but you won't be retired before 65. You need to be using other people's money. There's money in the community, there's money in the world, there's more money in the world today than there's ever been. You need to know how to access it. You need to present yourself to access it. It is critical that you change your mindset about you have to save up a deposit to buy a house. You're denying yourself success. You're denying yourself the chance to change your life, because you won't change that mindset right up here in your head that you can do this right through none of your own money, other people's money. And it doesn't have to be a JV partner either. Joint ventures is not the only way. It doesn't have to be a money loan. The money could be the homeowners. It could be the owner of the house could fund the deal. Vendor finance, that's a no money down strategy that we teach on the training, right? But it doesn't have to just be no money down with the owner's money. What about the owner's mortgage? You could use the owner's mortgage as well to buy their property. So there's different ways you can do this, and we'll touch on that in a minute with Muzzie and what else he's working on, and whether he's doing it all with Conrad or whether they're doing separate stuff and all that sort of thing. But you have to start backing yourself and stop listening to these naysayers who say you can't do no money down, you can't do property, right? The reality is anyone who's got 40, 50, 60 plus houses, right? Anyone who's got more than 10 houses have used creative strategies to get there, because saving up deposits in a job is too slow. And maybe the thing about no money down, it's creative investing. It is not a strategy. Lease options is not a strategy. Rent to rent is not a strategy. It is the tool to deliver the strategy. So Muzzie mentioned his first single let. He's done it no money down. He's mentioned serviced accommodation. He's done them no money down, rent to rents. He's mentioned HMOs. How did you do your HMOs? Rent to rent, no money down. Okay? Here's the key. If you're watching this, if you're in the community and you want to do single lets, if you want to do HMOs, if you want to do serviced accommodation, if you want to do commercial, if you want to buy a piece of land, if you want to build a house, whatever you want to do, the thing is, you know what you want. Your problem is you don't have the money to do it, or you don't have the money to do enough of them to get you out of your job. The strategy is the single let, the HMO, the SA, the commercial. The tool to deliver the strategy is the lease option, the rent to rent, the vendor finance, the assisted sale, the exchange delayed completion, etc. You need the tools to deliver what you want to do. What else have you done, Muzzie, in the last few weeks? So you got your first buy to let using none of your own money. What else have you secured?
I have got my very first lease option as well.
Yes! So,
yes,
you got your very first lease option. How much is that property costing you up front? How much money do you have to put in today?
So up front, and bear in mind, this is none of my own money either. Up front, it's going to require about 8 grand.
Okay, 8 grand. So
but that 8 grand is actually coming from the purchase price. So they've requested to have some money up front, which is just going to be taken off the purchase price.
Okay, so the 8 grand's coming off the purchase price. Okay, and how have you raised the 8 grand?
Through joint ventures as well. And actually speaking to the community, I've managed to raise the funds from that.
Okay, so how much? What's the purchase price for the house? The future purchase price? Because you're going to buy it. When are you buying it, by the way?
I'm buying it in 3 years.
So you're securing the right to buy today, you're agreeing the purchase price today, and you're completing the purchase in 3 years' time.
Correct.
Okay. And what is the purchase price you'll pay in 3 years?
That's going to be 110,000.
So 110 grand.
Yeah.
And you're putting 8,000 down to secure a 110 grand house.
Yeah.
And if you were buying it with a 25% deposit, you would need minimum 28, 29 grand plus stamp
9K,
duty
yeah.
and legal costs. So you'd be at 32, 33 grand. So you're securing it for about a quarter of what you would otherwise have to do on the traditional purchase method.
Correct.
But nobody would give you a lease option. I mean, why on earth would somebody allow you to do that with their property? What's the story behind the sale? Because I always say to people, you're not buying a house. You're doing what when you secure a creative deal? You're not buying a house, Muzzie. What are you doing? Do you remember what I say?
You're solving a problem.
You're solving a problem. You're solving someone else's problem. So what was their problem?
So the problem was this couple is divorcing. They're looking to just get rid of the property. They don't want anything tied up between the two of them anymore. So I got to listen to what was going on. They said they're looking to sell the property for 110. They know that the property is worth maybe 125, but they just want to sell it quickly. So I started speaking to them a little bit more and listening, not hearing what they're saying, but listening to the story behind it. So what I picked up was the mortgage was about 94K left, and they were hoping to just split at least 5K between them and walk away from it. So after speaking to them and the state of the property, I told them that, look, if I were to make an offer, it's going to have to be as low as 95. It's not going to make any sense because the property is run down. And it looks like that was the case even from the previous viewings. People kept offering really low offers. So I said, I've got two offers for you. You can either take the cash purchase of 95, or I could do something different that will give you more money at the end of it. I could give you the money that you need now, maybe £4,000 each to walk away. And then I can buy it in the future when we've actually dropped the mortgage a bit more and purchase it at the purchase price that you're asking for now, and you actually get a lot more from it.
That's really creative. Did you come up with that yourself? How did you learn how to do that?
I'm an absolute genius. I learned it from the course. Yes, I read that book as well, only 5 times.
So, is that the last one you're going to be doing? Have you got an appetite now for lease options?
Oh, this is going to be the way forward now. I'm literally chasing them left, right, and center. But I'm really loving this part of it. This is just new venture for me. We've done a few rent-to-rents. It feels like we've got that to a bit of a T now. I'm comfortable with it. Stepping into this new platform now of buying and also lease options. I'm so excited about that.
Okay, so what would you say to people who are thinking, why would anyone give me their house on a lease option? Why would anybody do that? Can it work in my area? Is it possible where I live? It's all great for Muzzie, but he clearly got lucky, or he lives in, the best part of the country, etc. What would you say to those people?
I would say at some point before I actually learned about all of this, I was probably asking the same questions. So the first time I understood how the concept worked, I thought, why on earth would anyone just give me their property and let me buy it later on in life? But people have situations that you can't understand. All you're doing with all of these strategies, like Kevin said, it is a tool to help solve a problem. You're not going out to get the best deal. You're going out to solve someone else's problem. These guys had a problem, a serious situation that they just wanted to move away from. Now, when you say you're going to give them a lease option, essentially, you're not looking at it as, I just got the best deal out of it. It's, I've just helped some people that really wanted to walk away from a situation that they're struggling with. And these guys are absolutely appreciative. When I talked to them about how it worked, they were so thankful about it. And I was thinking, this is what we meant by solving people's problems. I'm not walking away screaming and shouting that I've just got the best deal. I'm thinking I've just helped someone here.
Did you do like an Irish dance in their garden?
Not in their garden. I did it when I got home. I was so excited because it's something I wanted to do for a long time.
What's your without the lease option deal, let's look at the lease option deal. What sort of profit will you make over the 3-year period, do you think? With
This one is
equity and
actually,
rental income.
it's a very good one. So I'll be making roughly 500 to 550 a month
Profit, right? And what about
profit.
uplift in value as well? Property.
The uplift in value, we're looking at least 20K.
So 500 a month times 36 months would be
36 months.
18,000, and you're looking at about 20 grand equity as well.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 38,000 over 3 years.
Over 3 years, yeah.
From that first lease option deal.
From that first lease option deal, and that's if I just run it as a single let.
I gotta put my prices up. I'm sending you an invoice.
I told you I'm a genius.
Shit. Right. What about the buy-to-let deal? We'll come to that last. Actually, I want to come back to that in a minute. What's your cash? What's your cash flow when you get these last 3 rent-to-rents up and running? What's your cash flow from your rent-to-rent portfolio? Your profit. When I say cash flow, your monthly profit from it when you get these new 3 up and running.
The new 3 up and running,
including all the others and the new 3 together.
So the 3 alone, we're looking at 1,500 to 1,750,
right,
just for those 3.
And then everything.
And then with the other ones, we're probably looking at close to 3.5.
So 3.5 in total, or 3.5 plus 15.
In total.
In total. So you're looking at 3.5 grand a month in total. What do you take home in your job?
Oh, a lot less than that. I think after tax is probably 2.3.
So 2,300 quid take home in your job. Yeah. I was taking home 27.50 in my job when I quit it. Before I quit it, 2,300 in your job. 12 months ago. This time 12 months ago, I hadn't even met you. How does it feel within 12 months to get to 3.5 grand a month plus
it's crazy.
38K on another deal, and we haven't even spoke about the numbers yet on the purchase?
It is absolutely crazy. I can't believe it. Sometimes I have to kind of pinch myself, but it's actually happening.
You know, because I just stand and I just say to people, look, with no experience whatsoever, you can replace your income within 6 to 12 months. And I was on an online coaching last night, and I had somebody on the coaching write a comment saying, this is crazy. There's people with no experience investing into this. They shouldn't be. What would you say to that person?
Well, the experience builds, doesn't it? So at that point, when we actually go in with no experience, you don't understand anything. Once you understand the concept and you actually follow the steps, the stuff that we're taught, the experience starts building. At that point, that's where you've got the experience. And it works. I'm living proof. It's happening. It works.
Okay, now for anyone listening that's probably thinking, wow, Muzzie's done really well. Everything's gone great for Muzzie. Don't talk about the single let buy to let yet, because I want to cover that separately, that mess up. But can you tell, what would be your sort of top 3 total screw ups in the last few months?
Top 3. The first one that comes up in my head every time I think about it is my first conversation with agents.
Right. How did that go?
I was a hella nervous, and I didn't even need to say anything to anyone. I think they could see it, they could sense it. And the horrible person on the other side of the desk absolutely loved it. So they started using and started asking me questions that they knew answers to, but they just wanted to terrify me. So that was absolutely horrible. I walked out of there thinking, is this really what I want to be doing? So that was a complete cock up. But the good thing is, from what you had said, go make your mistakes away from your investment area. So that was the good thing, where I did that away from where I actually want to invest from. And then after I got some confidence, I got back.
Do you know, I tell everybody, Muzzie, I always say to people, right from the first time I meet them, go do 10 viewings with letting agents or estate agents outside of your area in another town. And yet, for whatever reason, a number of people still go to their most important agent on their own high street as the first ever agent they've spoken to. And I've told them over and over and over again, you got to practice. You're not a professional yet. what would you say? How critical was it that you made that mistake out of town?
I was absolutely important because after I walked out of that, I sort of like promised myself I would never ever walk back into that agent again. And if that was the agent that I needed, I would have struggled forever. So I thought it's a good thing it's far away. I don't need to see them ever again.
First impressions last.
They do last, absolutely.
So that was your major cock up. When that went so bad, right? I know people as well, and this I want to help people in the mindset as much as possible. I know people in this community that would walk into an agency like that, completely screw it up like you did, be made a fool of by the agent because the agent's just some person, nicest possible way, that just enjoys making fun out of someone else. And their confidence is completely battered, right? They feel, shit, that was terrible. I can't do this. I'm never speaking to another agent again. This doesn't work. That Irish guy, he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. What made you, after you walked out of that agency, having been beaten up by the agent, what made you go into another one?
For me, it was understanding why I started in the beginning, why I was actually doing it. I think I've said to a few people, it's really important that you understand why you're doing it, because you're going to face so many challenges that are going to beat you up, and you need that reason to keep reminding you to get back in and go for it.
Okay. You're going to face so many challenges, etc. I always say to people, this is a simple process. It's not easy, but it's a simple process. It takes work, but it's the easiest hard work you'll ever do. I've got a question for you. What's harder, getting to $3,500 a month in property or working in your job? What's harder? What gives you more satisfaction, and what's more fun?
I would say my job was a lot harder because the amount of time that I spent away from home and what I actually got at the end of the month, and most importantly, the sense of fulfillment in what I've actually done. It's good to have a laugh with the boys at work. I enjoy that, but not for 10 hours a day and not actually spending time at home at all. So I would say that is more difficult in hindsight than this. And this, I believe, the hardest part is right at the beginning when you're actually venturing into it. Once you're into it, and the more you do it, it gets easier and easier. And it's, for me anyway, I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, what was the hardest deal you ever did?
The very first one.
First one.
That first one freaked me out.
I always say to everybody, the hardest deal that you will ever do is the first one. Once you've done the first one, your mind says that was easy. And by the way, all you got to do then is repeat what you just done. You repeat the process. It's like going to work the first day you ever went. Do you know what you need to do day two? Just go back to the same building. It's the same thing. Andrew Butt is just saying, Andrew Bat, I called you Butt. Andrew, sorry. I always wanted to do that. Andrew is saying, go back to that agent today and answer all the difficult questions. Good one. Ad is asking a question. How did you structure your day whilst working?
So, for me, I always came back home around about 2:30 in the afternoon because I work shifts. So I started at 6 o'clock, finished about 2:15. I'd be home maybe 2:30, 2:45. And at that point, I knew I had probably from about 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock to speak to agents because that's the only time that they're open. So I prioritized that time to just focus on calling agents or actually visiting them. So those are my 2 hours a day that I had for the whole week, Monday to Friday, to just focus on that. And those 2 hours alone in the whole day were enough, were absolutely enough. And then organize my viewings for the weekends. So all the calls in the week, set up my viewings, and then I'll do a bulk viewing list of 5 or 6 properties on the weekend.
What would you say to somebody who's watching saying, I work long hours, I don't have the time? Now, hold that for a second, because I know there'll be about 6 people watching at least right now that went, he finishes work at 2:30. easy for him. But then they heard that you started at 6. What time do you have to get up in the morning?
I had to get up at 4:15 every morning.
4:15 every morning. So the person that was going, oh, he finishes at 2:30, easy for him, you're probably still in your bed at 7.
True. And I did shifts as well. So the 1 week I would finish at 2:30. The next week I'd start at 2, finish at 10. The week after that I'd do night shifts. So I'm just pointing out the morning one that I can do that with.
So by the way, when you're on shifts, that is one of the hardest things to be on, because your mind, your clock is always moving, and you're often more tired because you're doing morning, afters, nights, mornings, afters, nights. You only realize that if you've ever experienced it. But if you're in a job and you're working the same hours every single day, you've got a huge advantage over the person that's working shifts, because it's like you've got jet lag. You're consistently changing every few weeks. You got every week nearly. You got jet lag. So if you're in a job where you're set hours, you're always doing days, you're always doing nights, whatever it may be, you got a huge advantage. But Muzzie, what would you say to anyone, like I said, what would you say to anyone who's thinking, you know, I work long hours, I don't have time, it's okay for Muzzie?
I don't think it's actually about the time. I think it's about your mindset. If it's something you really wanted to do, there's a way to do it. You can find a way. I had initially told myself that with the shift rotations, when I'm on morning shift, it's almost like my resting time from the night shift the previous week, and I was just tired. You just tired, full stop. But there was a switch at one point where I thought, this can't be my life for the rest of my life, really. I can't be doing this forever. And if I'm going to manage to do it, I have to find a way to do it. And as soon as that switch took place, you will find that time. You will make that time, because the time is actually there. It's just up here. If you tell yourself you don't have time, you won't need to do it. You'll make time.
Okay, and Jane saying, well done. I've worked shift patterns. It's hard. It is hard, Jane. Have you got more time? You clearly, though, have more time in your week than anybody else. I mean, you must have 8 days a week or something.
I don't have any more time than any. It's still 7 days, unfortunately.
Same time. Everyone on this planet has the same amount of time. It's what you do with your time that's important. Now, I've got to come back to something, Muzzie, because I asked you what were the 3 things you cocked up, or messed up, or Irished up. So you gave us the first one, the agents. Don't think I forgot. I want to share what you did wrong. What would you say your second biggest mess up was?
Okay, so the other mistake that we made, we secured a property for serviced accommodation, and it was a flat which had a lease management agreement, and we never actually tried to find out what was allowed and what wasn't allowed in this. And we had to lose that one because the management agreement said that we're not allowed short-term lets, and we were running it as a service accommodation.
And by the way, somebody listening now might think, geez, that's a really rookie error. That's really stupid. Surely they told you that on the training. Were you told that with leasehold apartments, had you previously been told and forgotten that with leasehold apartments, you need to make sure the most important person is the freeholder's approval, not the owner of the flat? What's written on the lease?
To be honest, this is something that was highlighted to me after.
Right. You will have heard it beforehand because we covered it.
It was mentioned. I think it was actually on the first one, and it was just a lot of information, and it's up until you start doing it, things start making a little bit more sense. But I was just really excited about this deal, didn't think too much about it, and then that came up, and I thought, I actually knew that. Okay,
I always say to people that we all know stuff we don't use, and we all have knowledge. And also, when you do, like when you read a book, right? You read it, you don't remember everything. It doesn't all go in. You read it a second time, you remember more. You go to an event, certain stuff goes in, and the training is critical to get you the knowledge. But without accountability, you're not going to get there. You're not going to make the mistakes. How important was the accountability of the mastermind to you?
it was really important. And it's always going to be important. It's something that I utilize quite a lot even now. A case of having someone who will continue to push you, and someone who you can sort of like turn back to and ask questions of things that you thought you knew but you need to clarify. It's really important. It really is.
Okay, so a lot of people that mentor people, I was mentored years ago, and well, not that many years ago, a few years ago, and I still have mentors, but my initial mentor, I used to have to, speak to their PA, book in a call in 4 days' time, and it was a set amount of time, etc. Obviously, I'm your mentor on the mastermind. We've got other mentors on there as well. If you need to speak to me, if you need a call with me, if you need to chat to me, how accessible is it?
It's pretty easy. I still don't actually know how you do it, but it's pretty easy. In many cases, you respond to me pretty quickly on a text message, or we can just sort out a time that we can talk and we speak really sharpish. I remember there's a time that I went to pitch my very first pitch for a lease option, and it was something that was going to happen within a couple of days. And I spoke to you, and you said, as soon as you get there, just let them know if you need to be on the phone, and you made yourself available so you can just clarify a few things for me.
So I became your business partner on the phone if you needed to
Yeah.
speak to your business partner, because it was what happens sometimes, guys, is you go into a house to speak to a vendor and you might have a deal. You see, you have the deal in the hand, but you don't know what to do to make it a deal. You're sitting there on the sofa and you go, shit, I've no idea how to answer that question. Shit, I don't know what to do. And you go, can I just have a moment to pop outside? I need to ask my business partner. I need a quick call with my business partner. You run outside, you ring me up and you go, what do I say? What do I say? Calm down. This is what you say. Go back in. Get it done. So don't forget, Muzzie. Number 3. What was your third absolute mess up?
I lost the deal because I didn't respond quick enough to one of the direct vendors. It was a potential really good rent to rent that we had in a different area that was actually generated from leaflets as well. Just didn't respond quick enough. By the time I got back, they had found someone else. So it was a lessons learned for me to just respond quickly whenever I get a response.
Okay. So the quick and the dead, the quick and the dead, the quick and the dead. You got to move fast on this stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things we beat into people is to not be a procrastinator, and also not be a positive procrastinator, which is making yourself feel busy but never do anything that actually makes you any money, like doing a viewing. The focus has got to be on viewings. We've got some questions coming in, Muzzie. So Fatima said, Kevin is amazing. What about Muzzie? He's always responded to whenever I've asked for help. Thank you, Fatima. I'll keep doing it. What else we got? Deepa is asking, was your lease option through an agent or direct to vendor? How easy is it to start teasing out the background story?
So this lease option was actually through an agent, believe it or not. Very strange one.
I believe it.
It worked out anyway. I created a really good relationship with the agent, and they actually put me through to the vendor directly, and I got to start speaking to them. And in terms of picking out the story, I think if I understand the question right, how easy was it to pick out the story behind why they're actually selling, is it?
Yeah, why? No, what their problem was, what their pain point was.
Oh yeah. I talk a lot. So when we went to do the viewing, the initial reason I was coming to the property is just for the viewing. So they were just going to take me around. But as they were taking me around, I was less concerned about the house itself. I wanted to know about them. So as we were going around, I was asking loads of questions. How long have you been living here? So what's the neighborhood like? What's the situation? How are you? And getting to know them. And in each answer they had, I had a question, and started digging further and further into their story until we ended up sitting in the living room for about half an hour just talking. And this is where the information came from. It's the concept of worry less about the house and more about the story. And after you get the story, you'll realize what tool that you've got can actually help their problem.
Do you remember back to last summer when you sat the No Money Down training with me and we did lots of role play in the room?
Oh yeah.
What did I tell you would happen in real life? What did I tell you in the role play when we did it? What was the reason for the role play? And I was telling you what would happen in real life. I guess my question is, did the role play we covered in the training in the room help you in real life?
It did. It did actually help quite a lot, because in the role play, you made it as difficult as possible for the person who's coming to view the property to get to understand what you're potentially going to face. And I went in with that kind of mentality. And to be fair, this wasn't my very first viewing with the vendor. I started getting used to just talking to them like other human beings. And it wasn't as difficult as the role play that you did, but I utilized that experience to know that I can actually speak to them about a lot more than just the property itself, to get to know how I can help them.
I hear all the time, Muzzie, that everything you need to know is in a book, or everything you need to know is on Google. Shit, I wrote a book, but everything you need to know is in a book. Everything you need to know about properties on Google. You don't need any training. You don't need any education. Just get it on Google. What would you say to somebody who thinks that way?
From my experience, you can read as much as you like. Don't get me wrong. It's important to read. Read, get yourself educated. But the greatest education is in experience, in actually doing it. That's when you actually find out what you know, how it works, and you learn a lot about yourself as well. I can easily tell you that when you go into a property, this is what you do, this is what you do. But until you do it yourself, you won't really fully understand how difficult it can be.
Viewings and offers. Yeah.
That's it.
And everything, by the way, everything probably is on Google. Here's the thing. If everything's on Google and you're watching this and you're, I don't know, more than 22 years old, you must be a millionaire then, if it's all on Google, right? Well, okay. What else have we got here? So Ravi is asking, so many freehold flats are on Airbnb, so are they all going against their leasehold agreements? Not all, Ravi. So the freeholder will find out typically if a guest comes and they come in drunk and they knock on the wrong door, or there's a party going on. What happens is the other tenants, the other owners in the flats, our renters in the flats, will ring the management company, not the landlord, complaining. And then the landlord will turn around to you and say, not my problem. The freeholder won't let you do what you're doing there anymore. Not my problem. I've got a contract with you. I want my rent. I don't care if you rent it out or not. I want my rent. So you must make sure that you can do what you're told, what's allowed. Whatever you want to do, you want to make sure you can do that. Because you could do single let in there. You can do it. You could do SA on some. You could do it. You could do a HMO if it's a big enough flat. It's like a 4 bed flat. Of course you can. So are all of them? No, some leaseholds, some freeholders, some apartment blocks have got terms in their lease that prevent certain types of lettings. Okay, others are absolutely fine. So you have to read the lease. Not all of them don't. Some allow it, some don't allow it. Basically, the key is you need to know to read the lease terms and make sure that the one you're going after allows the type of let you want to do. I've got a apartment in Sheffield City Centre. Even as a single let, I have to pay £85 to the freeholder once per year, just as a single let, okay, to get approval to rent it out. In reality, it's just the freeholder creating another charge to make some extra money. However, I still need to do it or they won't let me because they're the freeholder. So no matter what type of let it is, read the terms and make sure you know what the terms are. I want to get on to one more deal. So
can I just add on to that information as well?
Yeah.
Don't depend on the landlord to give you that information. Please request the information and actually see it yourself.
Oh yeah.
My landlord claimed that it should be fine.
Yeah. Trust but verify. Trust but verify. Always see it yourself. Deepa is asking, what has been your best way to get deals, letters, leaflets, agents, direct to vendor?
it's definitely got to be leaflets for me.
Leaflets, but leaflets don't work, right?
Clearly. Leaflets is the best one for me. It's brought in the best deals because these are 100% off market actually.
I always say, and Deepa knows this because she's done my training, the best deals are achieved direct to vendor. You'll get great deals from agents, but the best deals are direct to vendor because there's no agent fees and you're getting directly to the person and you get to speak to them and find out about them. But here's a really, really, really important message here. When you're looking direct to vendor and you're thinking about leaflets, I know loads of people that say leaflets don't work because they've tried it once and it didn't work. And I had Conrad on last week. And don't forget, guys, remember what we're doing. I'm going to be on there every Wednesday. So no money down TV maybe Wednesday. Yeah, let's go every Wednesday, 7:30. McDonnell Monday, every Monday, 7:30. I'm going to be giving content. Every Wednesday, right, at 7:30, we're going to, I was calling it No Money Down TV. Now we're going to call it No Money Down TV, but more importantly, Midweek McDonnell. Midweek McDonnell every Wednesday, 7:30. I hadn't picked a day, now I have, thanks to Jane. Conrad is going to be on here, Conrad Gaida, on here every Thursday, 8:30. He's on tomorrow night at 8:30, interviewing Laura Muse. This is the No Money Down Mastermind, the No Money Down community. We're running a No Money Down double your income challenge. For Conrad, it's double your income again challenge because he's already done it. Or quit your job race. Hashtag quit your job race. If you want in, hashtag NMTV, hashtag No Money Down, whatever it is, I can't remember. Hashtag go Conrad. Hashtag give him some support. Hashtag, right, quit your job race if you want in. Hashtag double your income challenge. Get on the game, guys. Get involved in it. Me and Conrad, we're going to be pushing you. The No Money Down community are going to be pushing you over the coming weeks and months. This is your opportunity. Your opportunity. If you've always wanted to do property, get on here every Monday, get on here every Wednesday and every Thursday, every single week. Get on here. You've got no excuse. Let's get on here and let's push each other together to success. Let's make this happen now. Okay? What are you waiting for? So, loads of people hashtagging. What actions can the freeholder take to stop the leaseholder from doing renting it out? Rabbi, they can stop you. They can fine you. Right? They can give you a fine legally. They can stop you doing it. Don't do something that's not allowed. Don't do anything that's illegal. Right? There's enough legal ways to make money in property without doing stuff that's not allowed. Stick to the law. Stick to legalities. Don't think, ooh, I'll just get around it. The people that get in trouble, the people that make mistakes, the people that lose money are the ones that go, oh, I know I can't do that, but let's just try. I'll be okay. Just don't do it. Just don't do it, okay? Muzzie, before we go, one final deal, right? So, how your deal that you're buying below market value, the one that you've got, the property that you're purchasing for the single let that you've raised all the JB partner money to do. Okay. Yes. How did you secure that deal?
So that deal came from leaflets, which is why I love leaflets. And this one was actually even more special because I dropped leaflets in this area back in January.
Hang on there. You dropped the leaflet in January. When did they ring you? When did the owner ring you?
They got back to me 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Now, for every one of you who are watching this that say leaflets don't work, this is what typically happens. Conrad a few weeks ago dropped 50 leaflets. He sent 50 letters. He got 0 response. So what he did was he sent another 50 letters. He didn't quit. He didn't give up. He sent another 50 letters. Why? Because he trusted the process. Guess what happened? He got 0 responses. None again. Guess what he did? He didn't quit. He didn't give up. Why? Because he trusted the process. So he sent another 50 letters. He got 2 calls. One landlord from those 2 calls, one of the landlords has given him 5 deals already. And by the way, these are not the same deals as Muzzie's doing. They're joint venturing on some rent-to-rent stuff, but their other stuff is separate. They're doing a bit of their own as well, okay? So I want to make that very clear. They're not the same deals. They're different deals. Now, here's the thing. Muzzie sent leaflets back in January, and he didn't get a call from this house. I know people that send leaflets or send letters. They don't get a response. They send them once, they don't get the response, and they quit. They're the person that tries something once and quits. Tries something else once and quits. Tries something else once and quits. Tries something else once and quits. And that's how their life goes around in circles and circles and circles. It is about consistency. Consistently following the right steps and trusting the process. When you drop a leaflet, that leaflet can be responded to in years to come, in months to come. I've had calls from a leaflet 18 months after it was dropped. 18 months later. It took this person from January till June. Now, when Muzzie dropped his leaflets in January, had he turned around and gone, leaflets don't work, and not dropped another leaflet, guess what he wouldn't have had? You drop leaflets in January and February and March and April and May and June. Maybe in December, somebody rings from the March leaflet or from the April or May leaflet. Trust the process. The deal, Muzzie, the deal. Okay.
Yes.
So what you said earlier, it was worth around 125 grand.
Yep.
What purchase price did you secure?
So I made an offer of 94,495.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously you shared 3 of your biggest mistakes in property. Yeah, yep. Already. Oh, but you've held one back, haven't you?
I have indeed, and I know you're loving this.
I am. So Muzzie secured this 125 grand house from a direct-to-vendor leaflet that he dropped in January. He secured it 2 weeks ago for 94 grand, 94 and a half grand.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what he did. He rang me up asking me about the leaflets, asking me about the deal, what he should do. And I said, make sure you're sure your numbers. Make sure it's 125. Make sure it's worth 94 and a half. Get some comparables. Get sales prices. What Muzzie did was, what did you do, Muzzie?
I did get comparables from the information that I could find online and did as much as I could, but I wanted to verify what I found using an agent. There's a couple of agents that I'd worked with before, and I was a little bit too trusting because what I then did was I shared everything.
Hang on. Everybody listening to this right now needs to listen very, very closely. Go, Muzzie. What did you do?
I shared everything. I shared the address of the property and shared exactly what I'm looking for with this agent. Now, I wanted to find out how much the property is worth and how many properties have sold in the area to see if they're going to find what I'm going to find and verify the number that I thought the property was worth. The good news is the numbers that they came up with were higher than what I had, which is fantastic. The bad news, however, is this property was off the market. I'd spoken to this person and they hadn't spoken to anyone. I was the first person they spoke to about the property. But coincidentally, a day after I spoke to the agent, someone went and knocked on the door and said, I know you're selling your property. Can I view it? And I want to make an offer straight away.
And what happened next?
So they viewed the property. They made an offer, which was 12 grand higher than mine. The vendor rang me and said, look, I don't know what's going on. Someone turned up, they viewed the property and they gave this offer. I wanted to find out, since I've spoken to you, is there anything you can do with your offer?
And what did you do next?
I said, can I get back to you? And then I rang you.
And then you rang me. And what did you say on the phone? Oh, can I tell everyone? This is what he said on the phone. Kevin, somebody's come in and they've took the deal. And the only people I spoke to about it was you and this agent, and they've took this deal and they've gone back to the vendor and they've took the deal. What do I do? What do I do? And I said, hang on a second, right? You never gave me the address. You spoke to me about the deal. So how could somebody knock on the door? You don't tell me, Muzzie, that you told the agent, right? You told them the street. And he said, no, I told them the house number on the street.
Yeah, lessons learned, hey, lessons learned.
So, how did we save the deal?
So what we then did, I spoke to the vendor and said, is there any chance I could come and speak to you? After I spoke to you and the ideas that you gave me. And what we then did is went back and told the truth about everything and said, look, this is what's happened. I've spoken to the agent to verify the worth, the value of the property and what it is that I was planning to do. And coincidentally, someone is coming knocking your door. We believe that it is the agent or someone who is sent by the agent. Now, do you want to be working with someone who would do that? And potentially a week or two later on, once they know that they're the only ones in the deal, they could drop the price to what I'd asked for. And at that point, I would have actually already gone to the next property. Or do you want to work with me who is going to be staying with what I've actually told you to do, sticking to what I've promised you, and you've already known who I am and what it is I'm about? He said, okay, I appreciate that. And within a day, he got back to me and said, I've decided I'm going to go with you, not the higher offer.
So what is one thing I always told you since the day you met me about property investment? Property is a what business?
Property is a people business.
It's a people business. It's not about the money. It's about working with people who you know, like, and trust. And all Muzzie had to do, because he panicked, I've lost the deal, it's 14 odd grand more, the deal's gone. And I said, hang on a second. This is what you go back and say, because this agent is untrustworthy. He is not the type of person that this man is going to want to sell. So I asked Muzzie, did you have a good relationship with the guy? Did you bond with him? How did you get on? And Muzzie said, we got on really well, etc. Says, okay, you got a chance here. Go back and explain to him what's happened. Explain to him how this agent has treated you. And it's very likely that that agent will treat the owner the very same way. So Muzzie was honest and truthful and showed the owner that this other person was not trustworthy. And that was enough to make him want to go back to Muzzie and take an offer 14 grand less. Now, will that always happen? Absolutely not. No. Some people will go after the money. Some people are more interested in the people, okay? But this is a numbers game, guys. And the numbers game is not the money. The numbers game is the more people you speak to, the more people you build relationships with, the more people you offer deals on, the more deals you get. But you do not get every deal. You get about 1 in 10. 1 in 10. The thing is, most people quit when they get rejected 3 or 4 or 5 times. Trust the process, follow the system, and you'll get the deals. Muzzie, we've been on here for about well over an hour. I've really enjoyed it. Guys, if you've loved Muzzie, if you've loved the contact, can we give a hashtag love Muzzie or something in the comments box? Show Muzzie some love. Tap the love button. Show him some love. Tap the love button. If there is a love button, whatever it may be, just give him some love. Hey, I'm Irish. I don't know. Hashtag love Muzzie. Conrad loves you.
I know Conrad loves me.
Muzzie, what would you say, just before we go, what would you say to everyone who's thinking about getting into property, who's thinking, maybe people that are in the community and they've had a few challenges, they've struggled a little bit, they've not moved forward on their journey, maybe they've not got results as quick as they had hoped. What would you say, just as a final thought to people about can they do it, should they keep going, etc.?
Yeah, from my experience so far, and like I said, I've only just started this properly last year, June time. There are challenges, and some of you guys may already have faced challenges worse than mine, but the only way you're going to fail is if you stop. You have to keep going. I think it's one of the things that I learned the most, that property is a forgiving business. You need to just keep going. You will face those challenges, but just keep going. If you're struggling on your own, connect with people that are doing it, connect with people that are struggling and going through the same struggles, really. And that's the purpose of the community. Just identify the people that you feel will be able to help you and just keep going. Just keep going. It will work.
Here's what I'd like to say. So I got to know you in the last year. I met you a year ago and didn't know you at all. You sat at the multiple streams. You came back to another event. You brought your wife. She sat there and I know she was thinking, oh my God, what's he done investing with this crazy Irish dude? He's screaming at us, etc. But she's lovely too. even though I could see those eyes going, who is this person?
She's watching.
I know. I love her too. But I'm really proud of what you've done for the last 12 months, because here's what you've done. Many people come and they believe it's not possible. Many people come and believe it's possible but don't do the actions. Many people come and they believe it's possible and they do some actions but they don't do everything you tell them to do. Here's the thing about you. You show up and you just implement what you're told to do. You don't second guess it. You don't go, oh, that will never work in my area. You just implement the actions. And success comes to people who follow a system, who follow what they're told to do, and who back the system, back themselves, believe in themselves, and just move forward with basically blind belief, but in the smart way as well. So safely, slowly. It's not a race, it's a journey, like I always say. So Muzzie, if I had a hats off to you, because you're an absolute star. I love working with you. I love supporting you. And I've absolutely loved your journey in the last 12 months and watching you develop from somebody who didn't know anything about property into somebody who's actually now a property star, and somebody who's going to just do some amazing stuff over the coming years, because that is about the coming years. And yeah, just go smash it, keep smashing it. And for everyone else, follow the system, follow what you're doing, back yourself, believe in yourself. Remember, Monday, tomorrow night, first of all, go #GoConrad. Tomorrow night, Conrad's going to be interviewing Laura Muse at 8:30 p.m. On Monday, I'm back on McDonnell Monday, No Money Down Monday. I'm going to be sharing content, taking all of your questions. Any questions you have, write them down between now and next Monday. This is the Double Your Income Challenge. #WIncome. #WIncome again, Conrad. #GoConrad. #Quit Your Job Race. If you want to get involved, get the hashtags in. Let me know you're in it. Let Conrad know you're in it. Let's push each other to success. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I'll see you on Monday. Conrad, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back next Wednesday as well at 7:30, interviewing another No Money Down star. I've been Kevin McDonnell. He's been Muzzie Nduna. You've been absolutely awesome. Good night. Night.